My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is fantastic to have you with me for the monthly overview for May 2021. Wow, last month we had Hexagram 29, the abysmal, locked for the whole month. And I don't know about you, but I felt the month to be very volatile, uncertain, intense, deep, challenging, but also high flow. So let me know how you did last month, how the month of April went for you, and what did you manage to go with the flow on and transcend because you let the water take you. Please do share your comments. Right, so that was last month. Let's get into May 2021. We have a beautiful hexagram for the month. So there are changing lines, there are two, and so we have two hexagrams, two states of change to bear in mind for the month, and two changing lines. So there's going to be action, there's going to be variability as we work with this flow. Our first hexagram is hexagram 58, joy. Yay! Okay, one of the wonderful, positive, uplifting energies of the 64 hexagrams. And after the heavy, deep intensity of last month's abysmal, this will certainly bring us a lot of lightness and a lot of movement and a lot of energy. So this hexagram is a doubling of the lake on top, lake on bottom. And what it symbolizes is the expression and exchange of ideas, barter, trade, communication, learning. It's the mists, the excited mists rising off the lake. And what it does is it calls our attention, because of course we're being asked what should we focus on. It calls our attention to firstly understanding and working with joy in our lives, so what brings us personal joy, but also to step into, to lean into the opportunities for engagement and interaction and sharing and friendship and learning that this month brings. It's a month where we are going to do a lot of talking and a lot of listening. You might even find you're drawn to connect with old friends or to engage with others, or associates pop out the woodwork, or there's opportunities for coffee chats. Lean into all those experiences this month. This is a human-centric month or energy where we are being called to go out into the world, to express, to share, to write, to teach, to communicate. We are going to be doing a lot of communication this month as we connect meaningfully with other people. So if you've been thinking about doing something, writing something, creating something, communicating something, doing training in your organization, or creating coaching circles or discussion groups, or whatever it is that you are focused in your organization, which taps into the value and the benefit that comes when we talk to each other, when we share and communicate ideas, or even when we shoot the breeze, do those kinds of things. And perhaps even create some space in your personal life and in your business life for your team just to talk it through. Okay, so you're going to find that answers come by talking it through, by brainstorming, by sharing ideas, by collaborating. And, often when we think about our now Zoom life in business, where everything is a scheduled meeting, we miss those opportunities to have these kind of random free flow conversations around a cup of coffee, or in the lunch venue, or in the kitchen. And those types of things spark off ideas from each other. So find ways in your organization this month to tap into the expression of joy, the expression of ideas, the opportunities that all the people around you are having and can contribute, because that is what we're being asked to focus on. Now, we have two changing lines, as I mentioned, and they're both at the bottom, changing line in position 1 and 2. And to some extent, the call these two changing lines bring to us in May are very similar. So our first changing line will mature round about the 10th of May, and our second changing line will do so round about the 20th of May. So that gives you a bit of a timeline. It's almost like they come in flows and themes. Now you might find that these particular changing lines and what they bring come in together in parallel, or come in a different order. Just be open to that. But if we were to timestamp it, we'd say look out for these themes from the beginning of May to the 10th, from the 10th to the 20th, and then by the end of the month, we've moved fully into our second hexagram for the month. Right, so let's get into our changing lines. Our first one says, open up, don't hold back, express it. Okay, so this might be your sharing, your communication, your ideas, your exchange, your thing that you're contributing to the table, right? So full permission, the first 10 days of the month in particular, go forth and express it, share it, it's important. And then we see with our second changing line, there's a little similarity to the first one, but it's a bit more expansive. It says, open yourself up, express. It opens a whole new world. Okay, so that's quite grandiose for us. Both changing lines are talking about expressing and stepping up and opening up and leaning into, and particularly the second changing line talks about how sorrow leaves because we start expressing. That expressing could be the talking, it could be the sharing, it could be the writing of the blog, it could be getting going with your book. The expression you're trying to give birth to, do it. And maybe that's even starting a YouTube channel. Go for it. Talk and share and communicate. Go out and express your truth. Right, so our second hexagram for the month is hexagram 45, amassing. Amassing is now we have lake on top of earth. We have the convergence of joy and expression. All right, this talks about amassing the crowd. And we have had this hexagram before, the crowd, about tapping into the big network, about accessing a large volume of people, all rallied around a central focused idea. Exciting and really tapping into the power of the crowd, our fans, our followers, the bigger tribe, really going out there. So what's really interesting about these two hexagrams is that they are quite similar in energy. One says, tap into the joy, express, exchange. Our focus is to reach out to others, to open up the heart and to lean into sharing and exchanging information. The second hexagram talks about tapping into the crowd, into the bigger, huge upswell of people and resources and ideas that is available to us. And so I always think of this idea of these two hexagrams is that 58 joy is about teaching and learning. Okay, you're sharing what you know. And then we have amassing, which is about sharing it with a wide audience. So think about for you this month, what is the thing that you are joyful of, that brings you joy, the thing that you're wanting to share, the teaching or the communication or the courses that you're wanting to create, and how can we then get out and tap it into the crowd? Okay, so we are being called to do this. We are being told now is the time for us to tap into that. And perhaps for you in your business, where might there be things that you can express, joy and communication you can express to share with your customer crowd or your stakeholder crowd or your employee crowd? Okay, so think about this month is very clear. This is about sharing and communication and reaching out, not just to your closer tribe, but to a much bigger audience. Perhaps this is the month where you have the opportunity to launch that initiative, to launch that book, that course, that podcast, that new website, whatever it is that you're working on a business point of view. Now is the time to do it. There's energy to support us, and we're saying, after the intensity of last month with that abysmal and all that water and all that risk and flow and having to let go and jump, now we need to talk, share, and get the message out. Isn't that absolutely wonderful for us this month? Short and sweet, that's what it's all about. I really wish you joy and expression and sharing. Please like and share and subscribe. It would be great to have you join us if you're not yet a subscriber. If you're subscribed, you get the episode on a Sunday or for a monthly when it gets loaded. And of course, if you are only on the socials, then that goes through on a Monday. So it'd be great to have you with us to share this idea that change is something to master, not to control, but to master our relationship with the flow of change taking place around us. And this month, our task is to master joy and amassing the crowd. How wonderful. I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly episode. See you soon.